This country's airport is completely open. Our flight stopped mid-landing because a dog was chilling on the runway. And just when you think that's wild, a guy shows up on his scooter right on the runway. With only a few flights operating each week, almost everyone here is a local. In just 2 to 3 minutes, we entered the airport, checked in, and got our boarding passes. Believe it or not, this island is just 200 meters across, and in that small stretch of land, you have houses, schools, markets, even an airport. It's like the entire town is squeezed into this narrow strip. The water level is right here, and the road just a few feet higher. But here's the crazy part. This isn't just some beach. This is an entire country, an island that sits at this height. Never thought I'd see this in my life. Look at this, a handwritten boarding pass. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tuvalu, the least visited country in the world. Since yesterday was a Sunday, not a single shop was open in the entire country. We didn't even have water for anything. Fortunately, I had stocked up some milk and a few essentials the day before. A 1-liter Tetra pack of milk and some fruits kept us going. Otherwise, it would have been tough. Since everything shuts down on Sundays, we had no other option. Completely nothing. Now it's Monday. I'm starving, and I have no idea where my companion Navankar took the scooter. I wanted to go with him to grab food, buy some water, and freshen up because I am starting to feel very weak. The heat here is relentless. Here he comes. Lift the kickstand, bro. Adjust the kickstand.
Oh, sorry.
Being over smart.
What to do? Driving this for the first time.
My friend here can't ride a motorcycle, only a scooter without gears. But this one is a mix, geared, yet without a clutch.
We came further, right?
Yes, we did. But avoid the Chinese restaurant. Pick another spot.
But where?
Aren't there some other restaurants?
Let's see then.
Well, there's a bakery here we saw online a while ago. But when we asked the locals, they seemed unsure if there was one. After insisting, they finally said, "Oh yes, there is one." With a small population of just 11,000, everyone here knows everything about each other, so theft here is totally unheard of. My friend Navankar left this drone here in the morning and came to the room. Hey, when did you leave it? 8 a.m., right? Then at 2 p.m., we realized, where's the drone? And after 4 to 5 hours, we thought it must have been stolen. But when we came here, it was still there. The first thing is, people don't steal here. And even if someone did, they wouldn't know how to fly it. Even if they somehow managed to do that too, everyone would instantly know it came from a tourist. So, no one even tries. Come on, we are now set off to find the bakery on the other side of the island. We were passing by the main road and saw the airport, and it was completely empty. Only 2 flights operate weekly, with just 1 plane flying in. The next flight isn't until Tuesday, so for now, it's all deserted. Everything is closed, and the roads feel abandoned. Look at this. The scooter is running right next to the runway. And in the evenings, people actually play football and other games on the runway itself. And not just that, here's another unique thing about Tuvalu. You know the .tv internet domain? Most people don't even realize that every country has its own domain extension, like .us for the USA, .uk for the UK, and .au for Australia. And Tuvalu got lucky with .tv, which is perfect for television-related content. Tuvalu actually makes around $10 million a year just by leasing it to media companies worldwide, which is a huge part of the country's economy. Anyways, we couldn't find the bakery we were looking for. We were completely on the other side. They told us to come to this side, which is the main island of the country, where we are now, Funafuti. This is their capital island. So we came to this side of the country. We asked someone and they brought us here. Behind is the bakery. But look, there is a boat here, and the sea is in front of us. A beautiful view, right? Look, there is our bakery. Let's go there and eat something. I can smell the fresh bread from here. Tuvalu, a tiny paradise spanning just 26 square kilometers, is the 4th smallest country in the world. Despite its small size, over 11,000 people call this remote island nation home. Yet, barely any tourists set foot here. Since COVID, the numbers have dwindled even further. Only around 1,000 visitors a year. A place so untouched that it feels almost forgotten.
Kava Zone Bakery.
This is a bakery that specializes in fresh bread. We initially thought they might have donuts or other pastries, but it's all about fresh bread here. Look at these loaves. They slice them fresh right here. Guys, you must be thinking that the water level is here and the road is just above it And that's just how the entire country is, land and ocean almost merging, with barely any divide between them, creating a stunning yet fragile landscape. See, the elevation from sea level is just 2 meters. And with its land barely above sea level, Tuvalu faces a heartbreaking reality. It could be the first country to disappear into the sea. This beautiful nation might no longer exist in the next 50 to 60 years as the rising waters slowly take over. We couldn't find the bakery we were looking for, so we went back to the Chinese restaurant we ate the last time.
3 hours later.
It was an incredibly hot afternoon, so we took a much-needed nap to recharge. Now that the sun has eased up a bit, we're heading out again on our little Hayabusa, ready to explore more of this beautiful island. Tuvalu consists of 9 islands, most starting with N, except for Funafuti and Vaitupu. Among them, 6 are atolls, and 3 are reef islands, each offering a unique landscape. This is one of their schools. My friend Navankar mentioned that kids play here during the day. Look at this net. It's really nice. I'd love to play here, but there's no one around. We came here to catch the sunset while enjoying our ride on the scooter. This country is peaceful, simple, and truly relaxing.
Don't give up, no, don't give in. Never lose hope, don't let go of the promise. It ain't done yet, he's got a plan. Watch him rain down, got a miracle. Watch him rain down, got a miracle. I can see the strength inside you.
So friends, we've reached the far end of this island, the very edge of Tuvalu. We're standing here and there's nothing ahead but the endless sea stretching out before us. As I mentioned before, this island is incredibly narrow. You can probably tell from the drone shots. It's just about 200 meters wide, with the sea on both sides. The island stretches 12 to 13 kilometers in length, but within this narrow strip, life goes on. Everything from homes and schools to shops, and even the airport fits here. Tuvalu is in a highly vulnerable position. A small tsunami could wipe out the entire country. On top of that, earthquakes are frequent, as the entire Pacific region is highly prone to seismic activity. Life here comes with many challenges, which is why every household has 2 types of homes. I'll show you on the way back. Each person builds an inside home and an outside home. The outdoor area of a home is usually a simple wooden structure with a kitchen and sometimes a mattress for sleeping. Some even tie hammocks between trees as an alternative resting space. Life here is simple and closely connected to nature, but outside influences have shaped daily life in many ways. China, for instance, has had a significant presence for some time. Most restaurants are Chinese-owned, though they hire locals to maintain good relations with the community. The scooters we rented cost 15 Australian dollars per day, which is about $9.50 USD. Surprisingly, they didn't ask for any ID or paperwork. People here are incredibly kind and trusting, perhaps because so few tourists visit, and they feel that if they don't treat visitors well, no one will come. Or maybe it's just in their nature to be genuinely warm and welcoming. Firstly, there are no direct flight connections here, which makes it one of the most secluded places in the world. But I still highly recommend visiting because the future is uncertain. We don't know how long this beautiful country will remain above water, as it's only 2 meters high. A single natural disaster could change everything. If you ever get the chance, I would love to help promote this incredible place through my channel. And if the opportunity comes your way, don't hesitate. Come as soon as you can. As you can see in front, there's another island. However, no vehicles can pass through, and boats or ships don't go there due to the rocky waters, so there's no proper route. But if you want, you can swim across or walk through the shallow areas to reach it. The island is about 500 meters away. These houses are also elevated, likely because seawater has entered before. Almost all houses are slightly raised and have an outside house. Now we are here to return our scooter after riding it for 2 days. We returned the scooter, and as I mentioned earlier, they were incredibly kind. They gave it to us without even knowing us. Just like that, no questions asked. The daily rental price was 15 Australian dollars, which is around 9 to 10 US dollars. We assumed we had to refill the fuel before returning it. That's the rule almost everywhere in the world. When you rent a vehicle, you're expected to return it with the same amount of fuel as when you took it. They usually provide a full tank, but we had used about half. When we returned the scooter, I asked how much we needed to pay for the fuel. He smiled and said, "Did you empty it?" We said, No, just a little less than half. He just nodded and said, "It's all right, go ahead, no need to pay." Car and bike rentals often come with hidden rules and policies, making the experience frustrating. But just like in Palau, renting here was also smooth. The scooter guy was kind and hassle-free. Now, our hotel is just 900 meters away, so we're making our way back on foot. It's my third morning and my last day in Tuvalu. Right now, I'm heading to the airport because today is my flight from Tuvalu to Fiji, which means from Funafuti, Tuvalu's capital, to Fiji's capital, Suva. You might be wondering where we're heading on foot. I just stepped out of our hotel, and the airport is barely 100 meters away. So, in this tiny country, everything is within walking distance, making it easy to explore. We will do the check-in and return to our hotel, and when the flight is about to take off, we will come back to the boarding gate. Let's go and do the check-in then. What happened? What is it?
Look at the boarding pass. They're writing it by hand.
By hand?
No, that is mine.
That's his.
And where's yours?
Here, this is mine. Little confusion. Show me. This is the boarding pass? Bro, we have to keep this safe with us. It's really fascinating. You don't get to see something like this every day.
Today flight is on time.
Yeah, sometime.
And we also need to check that if they bring our luggage or not, because we don't want to.
Yeah, we can go around and check.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For the first time in my life, I've received a handwritten boarding pass. You don't come across something like this every day. Feels truly special. This is the airport, and right next to it is the National Bank. And this is the only SIM shop here. But like most shops, it's closed on weekends and shuts as early as 2 to 3 p.m. on weekdays. And that's where our hotel is. We completed check-in in just 2 to 3 minutes and got our boarding passes. But you might be wondering, what about our bags? Well, we never had them. I told you Tuvalu is the world's least visited country, with just 2 flights a week. When we flew in from Fiji, the airline decided to leave our bags behind to reduce weight and save fuel. Quite an unexpected welcome. So, we didn't have any bags with us. Even this t-shirt, you see, I got it from a Chinese shop here. Thankfully, the airline compensated us a bit for it. Now at the airport, the airline personnel didn't even have a computer. As you saw, everything was done by hand. It truly felt like stepping back in time. Here, they have a simple system. They start with a list of expected passengers, tick off names as they arrive, and then manually write out each boarding pass. Since there's no computer to update, they just note down the checked-in passengers on another list. That's how things work here. There's even a police station there. Navankar was curious to check it out, especially since it's just 100 meters from our hotel. This is the only flag in front of the police station, so we took a picture here. That's a government building you see in front, and right beside it is the airport. Since a flight is arriving today, look at the airport. It's buzzing with activity. Whenever a flight comes in, everyone gathers here. It's like an event for the locals, a chance to see the plane land. We went back to the hotel after check-in, grabbed our only bag which had laptops and essentials, and now we're finally off to the airport. Look, this is the airport of the world's least visited country, the place that sees the fewest tourists each year. And today is flight day, a rare event. Most of these people are here just to watch the plane arrive. It's something special for them, a break from the usual quiet. Some locals have set up stalls to sell souvenirs or small items. I had an Australian dollar and wanted to get a Tuvalu coin. The locals selling souvenirs said they didn't have any and even made an announcement asking if someone could exchange one for us. Navankar managed to get one, but I couldn't. Let's head to the bank and see if we can find one there. This is the National Bank. Let's go and see if we can find the coin here. People mostly use Australian dollars here, and the local coins were minted long ago, making them rare and hard to find. I remembered a guy named Atu who helped us rent the scooter. I had even saved his name on my phone. I had told his story to Navankar, and he remembered him too. Then it hit me. Atu works at the National Bank of Tuvalu. So we headed inside and I asked if anyone named Atu was around. Just then, he appeared. Such a nice guy. First, I took his email and phone number, and then I asked if he had any local currency as a souvenir. He said he didn't have any, and surprisingly, even the bank didn't. But then, he remembered someone in the bank who personally had 2 coins. He spoke to him and got them for us. And finally, I have Tuvalu's currency, and it's truly unique. This is a 1994 coin with a turtle on it, a truly unique piece of currency. Look at Queen Elizabeth's photo on it, as Tuvalu was once under British control. This coin was already hard to find here, so imagine how rare it is elsewhere. And since Tuvalu is the world's least visited country, it's nearly impossible to have someone bring it to you also. And now, Here's the airport right in front of us. Look at this. The crowd is building up as the flight's arrival gets closer. There's some fencing here, but the main road runs right beside the runway. So technically, you could just walk straight in and board the flight. No immigration, no checks, nothing. Everyone here knows each other. It's very fascinating. All right, let's head inside and see what's in there. It looks like the flight is about to land. They've stopped the traffic. Look at that. A dog is running around just as the plane is about to land, and now it's standing right in the middle of the runway. From here, you can see everyone gathered, waiting for the landing. Okay, now I think the plane is coming. Oh wait, it's going away. Damn, the plane couldn't land due to the dog on the runway, and the Fiji Airways is gone. Look at that! They've sent someone to chase the dog away. Hopefully the plane can land this time. The plane will now make a full round and come back, as the pilot couldn't risk the landing with the dog still on the runway. This guy was casually riding his scooter right across the middle of the runway. The others here are furious at this reckless act. Everyone's shouting, "Are you crazy? Why are you crossing the runway?" If the flight doesn't land again, it'll be a big problem since these flights already operate on limited fuel. There are so many dogs here. Look, another one just ran over there and now this one is going that way. Please don't go to the runway again or we'll be stuck here forever. Our plane has finally arrived, and if anything goes wrong because of this dog, I swear this dog is done for. Come on. Come on, Captain. Land it. Land it. Everybody is waiting for them to land this plane. Alright, I think they've got it this time. Fingers crossed. Here it comes. The plane is finally descending from the sky, gliding steadily as it approaches the runway. The anticipation is building, and in just a few moments, its wheels will make contact with the ground. What a sight to witness. Immigration is done, and our flight is finally in front of us. It has arrived from Suva and will stay here for a while. Passengers will deboard, and then it'll be our turn to board. Look at the crowd of locals gathered just to see the flight land. People are excited to watch the plane arrive. Bikes and scooters are back on the runway. And by evening, people will be playing football here again. Have you ever seen anything like this? There is no security check here, so they didn't check our bags properly. They're being loaded directly onto the plane. In other places, there are machines, and checked-in bags go through scanners to detect any restricted items or threats. But here, they go straight to the plane. This is where they inspect the bags, and you can even watch the process happening. I mean, it's all done by hand, no security scanners or machines. Normally, bags would go through a scanner, but here, they just check them manually and say, "Go ahead." It makes sense though. With flights only coming once or twice a week, there's no need for too much equipment. The immigration officers also seemed a little confused. They were checking the passport, figuring out which page to look at and where to stamp. It felt like a lot for them, but it makes sense. With so few flights and tourists, how would they know? Now we just have to wait for the gate to open and our luggage to arrive. We will board the plane from here. You can probably guess from this. Just look at the queue, and it's all locals. With only 1 to 2 flights per week, almost everyone on board is from here. I think I spotted one tourist. This lady, she seems foreign. So if there are only 1 or 2 tourists per flight and just 2 flights a week, that's around 3 to 4 tourists weekly, maybe 15 to 16 a month. Even if we round it up to 20 or 30, that's barely 300 to 400 tourists a year for an entire country. That's practically nothing. No wonder this is the world's least visited country.
Thank you.
So today was the 4th day, and finally, we are saying goodbye to this country. It was an amazing experience. We spent 3 nights and 4 days in this beautiful country, soaking in its charm and unique way of life. Now, we're on the plane, taking our final glimpse of this hidden gem. We are just waiting for the flight to take off. Now let's just hope they don't deboard us for the same reason they left our bags behind last time, saying the flight is overweight.
Don't worry, they won't.
We are about to take off, bidding farewell to this beautiful country. As I mentioned earlier, with its land barely 2 meters above sea level and rising ocean levels, its future remains uncertain. Reaching here itself was a challenge. Multiple flights, long routes, and limited connectivity. And who knows if this place will even exist years from now. Perhaps this was a once in a lifetime trip, but every moment was truly priceless, an experience I'll never forget.
Never